August 1st, 2021. Yeah, as you can tell from the video title, I am officially done with this game. It should not come as a surprise. If you just listen to my commentary for the past several months, I've been filming this game in 2021. I've been very, very displeased with it. I just haven't been happy with it. It was just no joy whatsoever. I was kidding myself thinking that, I would continue to January 1st, 2022 and then maybe quit then. And I'm like, you know what, nah. Why torture myself for an extra 4 months if I don't have to? If it's not fun, I'm not getting any pleasure out of the game, it doesn't bring any happiness, then there was just no point in continuing. And I'll obviously elaborate more on this later in the video. So here's how this is gonna go. Right now, I'm just gonna showcase my garage progress on iOS and my career progress and all that, and then I'm gonna switch over to my Android account to show my career progress there. And then once I'm finished showing my career progress and garage progress on both accounts, I'm gonna switch over to a lengthy voiceover detailing what drove me to make this decision. And yeah, Gameloft is gonna be in for a pretty heavy, hard roasting. But you know what? It's not surprising. Like, they know exactly what they're doing, and they honestly just don't care. Like, they have been given the opportunity to just change many times, and they just don't want to. They just think they can just get away with doing what they're doing because it's just making them money somehow. But ultimately, from what I'm understanding, I think the numbers of this game are going down. Like, less and less people are playing it, so we'll see what happens. Then again, there's always like new people that keep joining and then they just leave or whatever, so it just seems to be a cycle. I don't know what the overall future of this game is going to be, but and yeah, you can see right there, it took forever to load, which was ridiculous, but thankfully I had a lot of commentary to go over it, so it's not like I need to cut that out. And now, yes, as I say, so I guess I'll start with my career progress first. So I ended up at 81%. Oh yes, I guess this is also said for my iOS account. I've been playing since January 1st, 2019. So 2021 would mark 2 years and 8 months on my iOS account. And then for Android, well, I'll talk about that once I get to it. But yeah, let's just go through the career progress. So starting from chapter 1, there's all the flags I have there. Chapter 2. Chapter 3, Chapter 4, Chapter 5, and that should be, oh yes, I don't think I've mentioned this yet, but if you're hearing like the sounds of machines humming and whatever, I'm recording this in the basement because, well, as I've said in many videos, I don't know why this phone has such a bad connectivity upstairs. I'm also fairly close to the basement window, so if the neighbors decide to, I don't know, move things around or whatever, or somebody decides to knock something, you might hear occasional bonks or whatever. Just bear that in mind. Anyway, so I guess I should go to my garage level next. 18, and I'm at 4 million out of 5 million. 4.6 million to be exact. Nothing too exciting there. I guess I'll also go over my inventory because why not? This is my very last time I'm going to be playing this game. I think this will also be my very last time I'm going to be touching anything Gameloft, really, because, like, just not a very healthy company to deal business with. No, not at all. This game is extremely unhealthy. And I'll go into it later once I get to the part of the video where I do the voiceover. But for this part of the video and for the part of the video where I'm going to show you my Android account, this is live commentary. So those are all the parts I have. And I guess I'll now do my last garage progress. So this is it, my final day, August 1st, 2021. I went to Class C. Class B. Class A. Class S, one of the most irritating classes in the game. And that's it. So that has been it for my journey in Asphalt 9 Legends on iOS. And now I will officially switch over to Android, showcase my details there, voiceover, and done. August 1st, 2021. Yeah, I know I already said it in my iOS part of the video, but I just want to say it again because it just feels natural to say it. So yes, as I mentioned in the video, now I'm going to showcase my progress I made on Android. So I'll start with my career. Psst, I haven't gotten very far, as you can see there, just 20%. The reason being is that I only started this account last year, July 1st, and with today being August 1st, the day that I decided to switch this game forever, that means I've only been playing on Android for about 13 months. Yeah, not very long at all. So after this part of the video, as I mentioned in the iOS part, I'm going to switch to a voiceover to go deep into it. Although it shouldn't be very surprising why it came to this point. I think what's honestly more surprising is the fact that I've been patient with such a corrupted company for so long, when many people were just leaving as soon as it was just getting really dumb. Alright, so that's my career. Now, unlike iOS, where I went straight to the inventory and I'm gonna go through my garage. Actually, no, I think I'll do the garage last. Yeah, that just feels more natural to do that. But unlike iOS, though, I'm also gonna bid my club farewell. So actually, yeah, I'm gonna do the inventory, and then after the inventory, I'll do the garage progress, bid my club farewell, and then switch over to the voiceover. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So you can see I have lots of blueprints here. And then we're gonna go over to the import parts. Some of them have a lot, some of them not so much. Okay, so that's that. And now I'm going to go over to my garage, and again, there's not going to be very much, so I'm just going to try and skip over this pretty fast because this account is very young, and starting this game late is not a good idea because this game at this point is just a very massive paywall, which is a shame. You'll see there's lots of keyed vehicles, lots of vehicles that aren't even there. But you know, I'm leaving, so it's like, whatever. Could care less about these dumb paywalls anymore. Yeah, most of these I don't even have, so I'm not even gonna bother scrolling through slowly. I guess I should think, what am I going to tell my club? Should I say, I'm out, peace, I'm out, goodbye, or I'm logged? I don't know, you know, I guess when I get to that part, I'll think of it and then just leave. I wonder how they're going to react, though. Probably shouldn't be a surprise, though, because, like, since I've joined this game last year, and between now, a lot of people in my club have left, so it's not terribly surprising about people leaving. It shouldn't be. Okay. Is it noisier in this part of the basement, or is it better in this part of the... I don't know. Let's just hope that it won't sound too weird, because a while ago I was hearing some sounds, and it's like, yo, I don't know. Okay, no, I think over here I'm going to be hearing the machine. You know what, okay, let's just try not to pay too much attention to the machine and other ambient sounds. Actually, it sounds kind of irritating, but let's just try not to focus too hard on that. So, yes. And then see Venom, the last vehicle. And now I will go over to... I did my inventory, right? Yeah. Okay, I don't think I did the garage level. So, yeah, I guess this is the part of the video now where I just have to think of what I'm going to tell my club. Well, I guess I'll just say, I don't know, I'll just type it and then read it out after. Okay, it's not capitalized. Now I have to capitalize that. Okay, so I'll just have to take that there. Okay. Should I say I would no longer be playing the game, or should I just say peace, I'm out? I don't know. Okay, so let me see what this is. Let's see a fast name. I will no longer be playing this game. Stay safe and God bless. Alright, so those are my final words. A screenshot there. Oh, it's a shame I just had to have the ugly bailey in the background, but whatever. Okay. Move away from that. Club. Okay, how do I leave? Well, I did it. Had to do it. Don't know what the reaction's gonna be, but you know, it is what it is. And now, the part of the video where I switch over to the voiceover. And in the voiceover, I'll obviously have some footage of me playing. I guess I'll go to daily moments and just run through those events. And yeah, that'll be my gameplay footage while I do the voiceover and go into the details about my decision behind quitting after almost 3 years. Are you ready? Because you are in for a lengthy, detailed, critical talk about the state of this bitchily broken game. Now before I dive into this, I need to first point out a few things. Number 1. Because I stopped playing the game in August 2021, this talk video will focus on the state of it during that time period. I initially intended to get this video out during that month, but never got around to it until now, October 2021. I am aware that between then and now, there's a new electric season update. I have seen the details of it, and there is nothing that's changed the game differently for the better. Still the same old formula of add new cars and special events for those cars while continuing the usual stench. Number 2, I already added correctional text in the beginning about it, but I did not end up uploading any of my 2021 Asphalt 9 Legends videos at all, despite me mentioning commentary about it. This is because I had intentions to, but cancelled them. As you can tell from the date of my recordings on my latest uploads, I am months behind. Since I stopped playing the game before catching up to August 2021 with my uploads, I decided to cancel all of my Asphalt 9 videos dating from October 2020 to July 2021. For this reason, if you hear me making references to Asphalt 9 about playing it in my other videos that were filmed between October 2020 to July 2021, this is the reason why. Alright, now it is time to get ready for one King Cobra of a long roasting. I bet you can probably already hear tires popping, windshields breaking, hoods crumbling, engines exploding, and all sorts of noises pertaining to savagery. So, once upon a time, while I was scrolling Reddit, I saw a topic titled, "How do you rate Asphalt 9 aside from pay to win?" Well, I did not stop to comment at that time, but I did answer in my mind. You almost can't. That's right, pay to play is so deep and disgustingly entrenched in the game that if you were to rate it while trying to ignore the pay to win and pay to play aspects of it, the only things you can rate are the graphics and soundtrack. Yeah, that's basically about it. For the soundtrack, I never used the in-game music, nor did I ever care for it, so I will not bother rating it. For the graphics, nobody, no matter how much you love or hate the game, are immaculate. If only the game itself were as good as its graphics. So let's start this list of hates off with no offline mode. The online-only nature of Asphalt 9 has been a controversial aspect from the beginning of time. Let's just say that it really does not need to exist, nor does it actually benefit the player. If anything, it is actually a major nuisance that always forces you to be connected to Wi-Fi or use data just to play a game. Very annoying. And if you're going to say something like it's necessary for monitoring hacks and suspicious activity, full stop. It's not. Online only or not, people have been hacking this game to bits and pieces. Furthermore, there was a time when Asphalt 8, the predecessor of this game, was playable offline and it was fine that way. Online only is unnecessary and does not fix anything. Oh yeah, and did I mention that the constant need for a strong connection also drains your phone's battery harder and makes it run hotter? Fuel system. Yes, this is another one of those long-standing mechanics that people have and still bitterly hate about this game, especially when you consider that Asphalt 9's predecessors never had such a stupid mechanic in the first place. Well, to be honest with you, there's a right way and a wrong way to implement fuel systems in racing games. In most racing games where there's a fuel system, the fuel tanks are easily refilled by grabbing fuel cans in the middle of the racetracks or through use of an in-game currency. Why couldn't Gameloft do this? If they insist on having a fuel system, the tanks should be refilled by running through canisters on the track. The only problem with this is that because there is already a nitro bar, this would require 2 bars and more bottles on the track. But then again, Asphalt 8 never had visibility issues when 2 bars appeared from the double nitro booster, so 2 separate bars should not be a problem for Asphalt 9 so long as they use different colors for them. Paying tokens for fast refills or watching advertisements is scummy and degrades the playing experience. Blueprints. Boy oh boy, where do I start with this one? Let's just say that this system needs to be axed entirely. It is one of those concepts that is built on nothing but piggish greed. It is especially problematic with newer high-end cars where some require as much as 85 just to unlock them. This should not be like this. Cars should be unlocked through purchases from credits or as a reward from completing certain seasons and careers. This naturally leads to my next point. No rental cars in career. Have you ever worked hard to get through many flags in a career season only to be stopped by some random car that forcefully drops on you? We have all been there. Not only has Gameloft not fixed this, but has stooped to an even lower, nastier level by throwing in pay pass cars. Whoa, extremely low, bro! There's a super easy, fair solution to this. Make that required car rentable with credits, and then upon completion of that race, players get to keep it when they beat the requirements. Because you know, Asphalt 7, yes, Asphalt 7 did have a rental system in place, so it's not like this concept is new to Gameloft. It isn't. It needs to be resurrected if they want to make career mode a more attractive option to people who hate multiplayer or time-limited events. Reputation level. The concept of the reputation system is good. The problem I have with it is the insultingly low credits payout for high-level players. At level 100, the base payout should not be a measly 3,800 credits, but 10,000. The reference here I'm talking about is coming in first within time-limited events. The base pay should start at 100, then be multiplied times what your reputation level is. So if you are at level 52, you should get 5,200. Level 75, 7,500, and so on. Premium currencies. Premium currencies have absolutely no reason to exist. They exist solely as a means of high-hog greediness. Everything that they do can be done with credits. Case in point, the special events are deliberately set up in a way that by the time you save up enough tokens for one event, you will not have enough for another. The only way to always have enough tokens is by purchasing them through real money, which is a major no-no. 99% of special events are made for people with big wallets, also known as whales in the Asphalt 9 fanbase. This is toxic, like really rancid toxic. There is no need to even try defending this practice because that is exactly why they are getting away with it. Too many people still feel the need to buy their way through special events. I will elaborate on this more when I specifically get to the part about special events, but for now, I made it clear that tokens do not need to exist and have caused nothing more than problems and disparities between free-to-play and pay-to-play players. Trade points. This is the other premium currency that exists alongside tokens. Trade points are another painful part of the game because it takes a ridiculous amount of them just to buy epic import parts. As with tokens and blueprints, trade points should not exist. Epic import parts should just be available in the shop for credits. Plain and simple. No fuss, no extravagancy, just credits. They do not need to be cheap, but just need to be available. Garage level. Does this even need to exist? I actually had to pause for a moment before thinking about what to say about this. My response? No, it does not. I think at this point, it's high time that I make it clear that Gameloft should have released Asphalt 9 Legends as a finished product. That you would only pay for once, and then you own the entire game. I don't know why I didn't just say this in the beginning, but saying it now should make it significantly easier to understand my points and why they would be possible. Because now that I have said it, if Asphalt 9 were a complete product with all the cars and tracks the developers intended to add from the beginning, there would be no need for any of this in-app purchase corruption. There would be no intrusive ads, no premium currencies, no pay to refill tanks, no pay passes, none of that. Special events would actually be enjoyable because there will no longer be a show-off contest of who has the most tokens and real-life money. The benefits of releasing Asphalt 9 Legends as a finished, paid product would bring immense benefits to players. So, why hasn't Gameloft done this? Truth be told, that problem does not plague Gameloft alone, but smartphone games in general. And guess who is to blame? The developers? The user? If you guessed both, you are correct. The developers are to blame for implementing it, and the user is to blame even more for making in-app purchases. You see, every single gamer would avoid in-app purchases at all costs and tell developers to release finished games as opposed to half-baked games with future pay-to-play updates. The smartphone gaming world would not be in the current messy state it's suffering in. Imagine how nice it would be to play a game that is finished as opposed to getting constant future updates riddled with in-app purchases to try and milk you for the game's development. No! This is not the way it should be. At this point, you must be like, well, how is Gameloft supposed to finish Asphalt 9 Legends right now if they released it as what you call an unfinished game? How do you expect the developers to pay the bills? Good questions. Before I proceed, let me make this ultra clear. I obviously understand that Gameloft must make money to pay its employees. I do not have a problem with Gameloft making money. It is how they are making their money that is a serious problem. Now, to answer the first part of the question, can Gameloft finish Asphalt 9 Legends so that they can stop forcing pay passes and other in-app purchases down our throats to fund these pay-to-play updates? Yes. Yes, they can. If they really wanted to, all they would have to do is transparently tell the players they're making a big move to seize frequent updates for a mega update that would remove all in-app purchases and pay mechanics, to bring you an experience of true ownership of this game as you would feel with a console game. It may take a year, maybe a little shorter, maybe a little longer. An Asphalt 9 where no players can gain an unfair advantage would be welcomed even by honest whales themselves. Now for the next part of the question. How would I expect Gameloft to fund such lengthy time off from frequent updates with in-app purchases and mechanics? This is surprisingly easy actually. Gameloft is a big company with lots of creative minds. They are already on YouTube and numerous social media platforms. The Asphalt series has its own profiles as do the other games individually. The Asphalt team can make their money by uploading more YouTube videos, selling Asphalt merchandise, affiliate links, and so many other potential ways. And because the Asphalt team is based in Barcelona, a beautiful, sunny, coastal city in northeast Spain, opening an OnlyFans page would be a brilliant way to show off those sun-kissed Spaniard bodies. Kidding. I know this video is long like a reticulated python, so I need to make sure that at least 10 people will tell me in the comment section that they listened long enough to tell me that they heard something that made their ears spike up around this timestamp in the video. So yeah, now that I have mentioned that what I really want from Asphalt 9 is just a complete game without in-app purchases, is there any point in me going further? Yes, there are still things like the clubs, multiplayer, and the track to talk about, so I might as well touch on the issues I had with those. For multiplayer, I do not like how the Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren and the Chevrolet Corvette ZR1 were removed from the Ghosted multiplayer series. Gameloft knows how bitchily people have complained about knockdowns, so when they finally decide to rotate the mechanics, they make a dirty move in one of the updates by pulling these multiplayer exclusive cars out of the season that most players enjoy. I don't know how hard it should be to just have both knockdowns and no knockdown seasons run simultaneously with the same rewards. From there, they could easily gauge which mode people prefer more. Even if one mode were preferred more than the other, there is still no reason not to have both running. Oh yeah, and stop mixing Class A and S together. Those high-end Class S cars are unbeatable. I have no idea if they addressed this in a Lightning update or not, but I doubt it. I did not see it mentioned in the patch notes. For the milestone rewards, they are way too grindy. Cut out the grind and increase the rewards. What rewards would they give in the Asphalt 9 without tokens and blueprints? Credits. Lots of credits. Epic import parts can also be given out as a means to make it more worth it for hardcore players, as well as multiplayer exclusive decorative parts. In the event that players already want particular cars or parts, these can be simply converted to credits or car parts. And before moving on to the next subject, I cannot talk about multiplayer without addressing the issue with latency and teleportation. This is something that I have seen fiercely talked about online, about how annoying it is and how people mistake it for cheating and that it is cheating and many other things. The servers are potatoes. In fact, I remember reading a post on the now closed Gameloft forums where a man who had been playing multiplayer for decades said that Asphalt 9 has the worst service he had ever encountered. Ouch! And just when you thought I was a savage. If you want to see some hardcore mother-mashing, father-frying savages, you should have seen the discussions on Reddit during Drive Syndicate number 3 and the Bugatti Divo special event. Ay caramba! They make this video look like a marshmallow. The tracks. The biggest gripe that I have with the tracks is that there's a severe shortage of straight tracks and way too many twisty tracks that favor high-handling vehicles. Yes, it is true that there are now plenty of high-handling vehicles in the game, but there are still many that do not have high handling. Straighter tracks are needed. Too many twists and curves in this game. Engine sounds. Why are the engine sounds so lazy and repetitive? I have brought up this issue in a past discussion video, and here I am bringing it up again. As I have said in the past, I do understand that it is not feasible to record the acceleration and deceleration sounds of all the cars, especially the ones that are not even production cars. That said, A much better job can be done with the sounds. Cars like the Dodge Challenger SRT8 sound nothing like a real muscle car, while cars like the Porsche 911 GT3 RS sound like a nasal whiny kid. Fix this! I no longer consider it to be a very minor issue, but something that needs to be improved. After all, because this is a racing game, you will naturally spend a lot of time hearing your car's sounds. Let muscle cars sound like low, rumbling, mean machines. Let Lamborghinis scream that signature V10 or V12 sound. Let electric cars sound futuristic, but do not make them all sound like vacuum cleaners or tea kettles. You get the point. Automatic acceleration. From day one to the day I exited this game, the doofus automatic acceleration is something that never ceased to annoy me. What is the point in designing detailed tracks with stop signs and all that when we can't even park the cars or stop to check them out? In Asphalt 8, manual acceleration allowed people to get creative with their selfies and made you feel more like you were actually driving the car rather than the car driving you. Leave automatic acceleration to touch drive, or better yet, make it optional in all driving modes. Car hunts. These can be done away with for good. In an ideal game with no blueprints, where cars should be available for credits or won through multiplayer and special events, there is no need for these ultra unhealthy, hellishly grindy car hunts. A game should be fun, not a torturous grind for virtual cars. Special events. Earlier in the video, I already touched on what is plaguing special events, and that is the paywall cars, blueprints, and premium currencies that utterly ruin the fun in these events. With these elements taken out, what would special events be like? They would actually be fun. They would be events of true skill and not about having a wallet the size of a blue whale. Players would be required to beat the challenges that they offer, and at the end of it, they win the car. So basically what Asphalt 9 already does now, but with paid to win completely stripped out of it. The special events would also have to come back, but on a rotational cycle. That way, it would allow players to get special event cars who may have missed out due to real life obligations. Same thing goes for the Grand Prix. With all the pay to win elements stripped out of it, this would allow all players to have the car at the exact same rank. No blueprints, keys, or any of that nonsense. It would just be players racing against each other for several rounds, and those with the better race times will get more credits and win the car. Drive syndicates? No need to explain in detail. You already know how odious these events have been in the past, so with all the pay to play and grind your soul to our powder elements taken out of it, they become a fun syndicate. Car choices. Too many random ugly car models have been added to the game as of late. Like, what is the point in polling the players which cars they want added to the game when you're just going to add what you want anyway? Might as well not waste people's time in the first place with polls and just go ahead and add weird, obscure, ugly cars. Now, if you're confused about why I'm saying this when I already said that they should stop with the constant updates and never-ending additions to suck your wallet dry, I am saying this that in the unicorn of a chance that they seal the game with final editions, that the final editions be vehicles the players want. Gameloft can also add a final vehicle or two of their choice, but should value players' wants as well. While on the topic of this, there should seriously be more crossovers and SUVs added to the game. I know some people are going to be like, this is an Asphalt extreme. Yes, I know that. I never said that they should make it the bulk of the garage, but that there should be more than just two-door coupes. Alright! I believe that I have finally touched on everything that I wanted to say about how hard I hate this game and what should be done to fix it. Well, that's if they even decide to fix it. Do I seriously expect Gameloft to watch this video and actually do this? Well, what do you think? No. So okay then, why would I make this video in the first place? Because I can. It just felt so good to make such a lengthy roasted video after wasting so much of my time on a hog's troll of a game. Thankfully though, if there's anything this all taught me, is to only play games that you can actually own. Games where you are in control. Games where pain does not give other players an unfair advantage. Games that are complete with all their characters, tracks, cars, mechanics, and whatnot. I should make it clear that updating a game is not evil. If a developer wants to add additional content to their paid complete game as a means to add more levels or additional content, that is fine so long as they do not pass the expense of the development onto the player. Instead, they ought to focus on releasing future titles rather than attempting to milk one title for years like a crazy farmer trying to beat his dead cow for milk. I am Guuzaka, and now I am out.